We are finally getting around to filming this vlog for you 2 years later after us talking about it. And here we are to finally show you what we eat in a day.
It's still kind of strange that people want to see it and that you are so interested in it, what we eat, because we are not doing anything special or we're no magicians. But today is the day.
To get straight to the point, what do we eat? Plants. A bunch of plants, basically.
Only plants.
Only plants. We eat a plant-based diet and we have for the past several years. And we also do daily fasting, which we have done for about 5 years. Although now I am 5 months pregnant, so about 3 months before conception, I stopped fasting and now I just eat when I'm hungry. And Flo continues with his daily fasting of 20 hours fast and 4 hours of an eating window.
It's also shifting. Some days it's 20 hours and 4, some days it's 19 and 5 or 18 and 6. If you don't know what to do with any of these numbers, then we highly recommend you check out our resources page on our website, which is /diet, where we have all the resources listed for you about a vegan diet, a vegan lifestyle, and also more on fasting and why it's so beneficial and so good for you, and also the different kinds of fasting with lots of documentaries and books on all of the topics. So we will not go into a lot of detail in this video. What's veganism, why we eat vegan, why we eat plant-based, and what's fasting. That you can check out and find out in our website.
The number one question that we get when we follow a vegan diet is how do you possibly get enough protein? Every single vegetable has protein, and a lot of nuts and lentils and different types of legumes actually have more protein per ounce than meat. On our website, also on the diet page, there is a protein calculator, so you can actually calculate based on your own BMI and your food intake and what your goals are, and then to see how much protein your body actually needs. And there's a really good book called Protein-aholic, which actually breaks down the science of what protein is doing in your body. And surprisingly, actually too much protein in your body can cause toxicity as well. So the obsession with protein is a little bit out of hand, and now it's just a commercialism thing. And as soon as you see protein listed on any single type of wrapper in a package in a store, you automatically think it's healthy for you or that you need it because you need more protein.
All the information is available. It's all out there. We are not inventing anything new. It's just about informing yourself. So all these things will also be investigated on our website. At least we will link to articles and documentaries that investigate this further. Same with that plant protein is less of quality and not complete, and the body cannot fully absorb it. It's also a complete myth. And on our website, again, you will find information why and how from scientists that dedicate their career to this kind of stuff. So we know we start this video off kind of challenging your current beliefs. You need to now take action to inform yourself and actually investigate if these things we said are true or not. Do not take our word for any of this.
So one of the philosophies of yoga is ahimsa, is to not contribute to the suffering in the world. And this is one of the reasons that we started to embark on this path of a plant-based diet, besides just the health reasons to start with. And then the more we discovered the actual animal agriculture industry and how disruptive and toxic and negative it is to everything, energy in general, then it's just not something that we want to contribute to or to be involved in. So as Flo said, a lot of this might be slapping you in the face and you're like, but, this is not what I know, and this is not what I was taught, and this is not what X, Y, and Z says. We understand, and we were there too. Not that long ago, actually. The first 25, 30 years of our life, we were also doing all of those things and contributing to animal agriculture and eating meat and dairy and eggs because we needed the protein, and we were into bodybuilding, and we get it.
We thought so.
We totally, yeah.
We thought so.
We were there too. So we invite you with this video to come with an open mind, to actually explore maybe something that's new to you and something that's different, and to be aware of your own cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance is when some new information is challenging your current beliefs so much that you think this cannot be true.
So there's an amazing video on cognitive dissonance, again, below in the description. We encourage you to check it out and approach it with an open mind.
Now let's go over all the food that we are eating in one day. As you know, we're minimalists, so this also goes into our diet and the food we prepare. And so you might be surprised that what we will show you is so simple and it works, and we are in good shape and we are very healthy and we're just feeling fantastic. So on average, we have about 3 meals in a day. For me, I eat all the 3 meals in my eating window, and Bre usually eats those 3 meals spread out more over the day. Sometimes, of course, some snacks, sometimes for the lunch only half, and then she eats the other half later.
And at least once a week, I eat a pint of plant-based ice cream.
Maybe you have heard the saying that water is life and food is medicine. Food has many healing properties if it's a whole food plant-based diet. So depending what you eat, it can support your health or it can harm your health. It's that easy. And so we choose foods that support our health, support our lifestyle, and support and even boost our performance. Not just physically, but also cognitive performance with clarity of mind, focus, and of course feeling good, being strong, and being able to adapt to different stressors and inputs that life is throwing at you.
We really do not overcomplicate the food thing. Of course, when we go to restaurants, it's amazing that we can have a lot of variety and lots of different flavors and try out different things. But all in all, at the end of the day, we both are totally fine with simplicity and minimalism when it comes to food. But I will mention of the seasonings and the way that I cook and the things that I'm cooking, I'm not a professional cook. I actually don't know shit about cooking. I just put together vegetables or chop up fruit and I just keep it simple. So there are tons of people that dedicate their entire life and their entire YouTube channel to vegan cooking. Check the description below, head to our website. We have several different resources of some amazing YouTubers that create lots of great videos that explain it in way better detail than we can.
So we are therefore the wrong people to ask for any fancy recipes or anything. Yes. You have to go to professionals. We will put together some very simple recipes in the future to share with you, but we are really the wrong people to ask. Like we put things together in a pan, and if it's warm and if it's cooked right and some right seasonings and it's healthy stuff, then it works for us. So we keep this super simple.
And now we finally get to feast on the food that we've been cooking.
Okay, now I brought all the fruit that I'm eating in one meal. So we have half of a small papaya. We have about 4 bananas here. And then 5 apples. So all of this I eat as my first meal to break my fast. And for Bre, it's, I think, a little bit less, but very similar.
Yes.
And at a different time.
So now that I'm pregnant, I am eating much earlier, so still waking up around 5 or 6 a.m. And so I have my first meal at 7:30 to 9, I'd say. Kind of depends on my movement practice or what else I have going on that morning, or really just when I'm hungry.
Ideally, we can eat the fruits that are in season and that are local to this place. We both stay away from very acidic foods, especially very early in the eating window and as our first meal, because it's just for our bodies doesn't work very well. The acidity is for us too much. But maybe for you, it feels amazing. So only because we eat those fruits and because we eat 5 apples or I eat 5 apples and 4 bananas as my first meal and I eat it all, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. So if you don't like apples, don't have to eat apples. If you don't like 5 apples, just eat 1. So you have to make this work for you. We are again just sharing what we do because so many of you asked and still ask every single day.
Yes.
So we thought it's now about time to make this video. Especially because we are now in a nice place, we have an actual kitchen, and so we can cook something and show it. We're not just having some gas stove and some crappy kitchen in a small hotel room.
We're eating a can of beans.
Or just a can of beans and say, this is what we eat. And then you're like, what?
I've had a few people ask me if because of the pregnancy, now I'm craving meat, or now I'm craving cheese, or ice cream, or things that are animal products. And the answer is absolutely not. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. I now have an even stronger aversion to the smell of meat and the concept around meat and milk and all the hormones that are in it. I do not want that to be affecting the baby in a negative way that it would be. Just so that you're aware, I am still continuing a vegan diet during my pregnancy. And of course, we plan on raising all of our kids on a whole foods, plant-based diet.
What you cooking today, Bre, for lunch?
Today on the menu is Ecuadorian menestra, which is basically just seasoned lentils with some tomatoes, cilantro, a little bit of garlic, salt, cumin. Nice protein. Plain white rice. Nothing fancy there. and steamed vegetables. Some squash, beans, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower in just water, boiling and steaming it. And then I added turmeric and cumin and salt, rosemary, thyme. Basically use the same 5 seasonings for just about everything that we cook. And usually we cook even more than this, and then we use it for leftovers. So we cook enough to have 2 or 3 days worth so that we can have leftovers and not have to cook every day.
While Bre is cooking up a storm in the kitchen, making our delicious lunch, I wanted to take a moment to talk about supplements. And first off, we do not use any protein powders on regular basis. Sometimes we get some because we want to put it into a smoothie, it just tastes nice. But it's not something that we use on a daily basis to get our protein in or to increase the protein, or as many think that we just eat vegetables and fruit and then we get all the protein with protein shakes. That's absolutely not the case. We often use protein bars or energy bars, but these are more as a dessert. So if you want to have a healthy dessert afterwards, we get some vegan protein bars and eat that after or even before, because why not have dessert first? In our diet, we focus on whole food, plant-based foods, and ideally the things that do not have a label, so mostly fruit, vegetables, also lentils, rice if you buy them whole foods, oats, all of that kind of stuff. Of course, there's exceptions to it, but on a regular basis, it's not something we rely on in our diet. Let's talk about the real supplements as I understand them. So things like multivitamin supplements, zinc, magnesium, vitamin C, all that kind of stuff. So you might be wondering if we take that as well. Usually we use only one multivitamin, one for Bre that's specifically designed for women, one for me that's specifically designed for men, but it's not available outside of the US, which is why we currently do not have it. If you want to find this specific supplement, and in case you live in the US and you can get it there, you can check in the description below. We will put a link there to our kit, and where we will list all the supplements, including this special multivitamin that we usually take, and also all the recommendations from our side, which I will go over now. What we add in form of supplements to our diet is a B complex vitamin. We add a zinc vitamin, a magnesium mineral, and also a mushroom mix. So it has a mushroom complex mix of like 5-6 different kinds of mushrooms. And as you know, mushrooms are extremely powerful and really important and boosting for your health. If we feel like we need it on certain days, we also add vitamin C as a supplement in addition to all the whole foods that we're eating. Bre is taking a special vitamin, now a multivitamin during pregnancy, which is designed and formulated based on the latest research on pregnancy and all the things you need. So she has her own prenatal multivitamin that she's currently taking, which will of course also change again once she's not pregnant anymore. It's important to take breaks off from whatever you're doing every single day. So although these supplements we take almost every day, there's also one day a week or one day every 10 days or 14 days where we just don't take anything. Just like with really anything you do on a daily basis, you want to also sometimes take a break from it for a day or more and give the body some time to readjust, recalibrate before you add things in again. And this could be supplements, food, coffee, or whatever it is, or also daily activities or practices that you do. Of course, all the supplements are vegan, plant-based, and you can check below in the description to see all the products, so I don't have to go through all the products here in this video. And here we finally have it, our lunch that Bre prepared. Some good plates of rice, mixed vegetables, and lentils. Super simple. Bre found the recipe also online. We will share it with you. This is the second meal of the day, the lunch meal. I will probably have this plate and a little bit more than that, maybe half more as the lunch. And what about you?
I will just have this, but in maybe 4 hours or so, then I will have maybe about this much or a little less for dinner. So I usually just have leftovers. Whatever we had for lunch is what I have for dinner.
And for me, in a few hours to close out my eating window or feeding window, as they say in intermittent fasting, I probably have nuts, oats, or fruit, or this, but not everything together. So it's nuts or oats or fruit or leftovers.
There's also a lot to learn about food combining. So that's one more thing that you can look into that's also on our resource page, where you don't want to be mixing fruit with a lot of other different types of foods, and nuts with different things, and fats with carbs. And there's a lot of things that go into food combining. So if you have a sensitive stomach or you've just been dealing with GI issues for a long time, then food combining might be a good topic for you to look into and finally heal and feel good in your body.
Thank you for cooking.
You're welcome.
Enjoy.
Thank you for filming and editing.
Buon provecho.
Buon provecho.
And before we eat, we take a moment, just 3-4 breaths, to appreciate the food, imagine the journey of the food as we did in our 30 days of mindfulness program, as you have learned, and then we start eating so we are in a more relaxed state. With that, we will close the video. We will now enjoy our lunch. Thank you so much for watching this massive video. Hopefully it answers all the questions you had to us. And if you have any more questions, then check the resources we mentioned. Enjoy, and we'll see you in the next one.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye-bye.